Let's talk huckleberries. So I have had two different huckleberries in the past. I had the evergreen huckleberry and the red huckleberry. And I thought, well, these aren't huckleberries. These are a different species of huckleberry. Like huckleberries are one fruit. Turns out huckleberry refers to several different species of fruit, including two different genuses. How about that? One genus is Galusacia, probably saying that wrong, and that, I believe, has 4 different species of huckleberry in it. There's also Vaccinium, which has, I don't even know, it's got several different huckleberry species in it. Vaccinium is the species where you have blueberries and cranberries and bilberries and things like that. 2 of the more common species of huckleberry, one that you will most likely find in different huckleberry products, are the black huckleberry from the Galusacia genus and the black huckleberry from the Vaccinium genus. They both have that name. But a more common name for this is the thin leaf huckleberry. It also has a few other names as well, but the leaves are thin, so let's call it that for now. This, by the way, was sent to me by Wanderlust Nursery, so if you grow plants and are interested in growing this yourself, check out the link right here and in the description below. Huckleberries look very similar to blueberries, with good reason. They're so closely related, but you can see that the shape of it is a little bit different, the coloring is a little bit different, and that little ring at the bottom of the berry is a little bit, like more pronounced. It looks a little bit different than how it looks like on a blueberry. And when you cut open a huckleberry, on the inside, it is red, which is not like a blueberry. A blueberry would be kind of like a white greenish kind of color. This is maybe a little bit more like a bilberry. All right, so let's give it a try. Oh yeah, huckleberries are good. Huckleberries are really good, but they're a bit tart, Like I can see some people preferring blueberries over this out of hand. Me, I think I like these better than blueberries because I like fruits that are a little bit more tart. They're like a blueberry has maybe like a little bit of tartness, maybe like, I don't know, 2 or a 3, depending on which one you get. This is more like a 6 out of 10. It's more than an orange. And these are not especially sweet. They have some sweetness to them, but I'd say less than your standard store-bought blueberry. It's maybe like a 2 out of 10 for sweetness. Yeah, they're not very sweet and they are quite tart, so I can see why people like making jam out of these and sauces out of these and all sorts of products out of huckleberries, and you can't really find fresh huckleberries around. It makes sense that people like making huckleberry pie for that same reason. There is quite a bit of a punch to this, but honestly, I do like these just raw on their own. I'd say, in the words of Nelson from The Simpsons, if they're too tart, put a little sugar on it, I think you're good to go. I think like just on its own I like these, but they might need like a little sprinkling of sugar on it. The flavor of it is kind of hard to explain. It is very similar to blueberries, but they are also their own unique thing. Besides the fact that it's more tart and less sweet, there's also like a little extra different type of berry in there. Maybe like a hint of the sort of flavor you get from a blackberry. It's not exactly like this just tastes like blueberries. There is more depth to it. There's maybe a touch of a foraged berry flavor to it. What I mean by that is like little bonus flavors, like a slight herbal taste to it. Wanderlust Nursery, who sent this to me, was also kind enough to send me a couple of products that you can get in their part of the country. If you go up to the northwestern chunk of the United States, you will find huckleberry products at like every rest stop. It is like such a popular thing. And so if you go to Washington, if you go to Oregon, if you go to Idaho, you'll see huckleberry stuff like everywhere. And what's funny is that a lot of the products I think are all coming from the same source. So it'll be like a bottle that'll say Idaho Huckleberries, and then if you go one state over, it'll be Washington Huckleberries, but it'll be the exact same product, just with a different label on it. So I'm not sure where these are coming from, or if people are just buying all the bottles at the same place. Questionable as that is, these products are actually usually pretty good. So if you go up to that part of the country, I would recommend picking up some jam and taking it home with you. So what they sent me are these gummy bears that have that kind of label on it, Mount Rainier. Also this syrup from Cheryl's Huckleberry topping. This doesn't seem to be one of those strange tourist labeled ones. So I'm going to start with the gummy bears. I've had some Huckleberry products, as I said, but haven't had a Huckleberry gummy bear yet. So let's give this a go. That's alright. It oddly has a touch of a wintergreen kind of flavor to it. There is no wintergreen in here. The flavor from the Huckleberry comes from Huckleberry oil. That's interesting. And then in parentheses it says soybean. So they must have taken like soybean oil and infused huckleberries into it. Kind of odd. If I were to eat one of these without knowing that it was a Huckleberry gummy bear, I wouldn't think it was a Huckleberry gummy bear. I'd think it was something else, maybe wintergreen, oddly. But yeah, it tastes fine. It tastes pretty good. And how about some of this Huckleberry syrup, or it says wild Huckleberry topping. Ooh, this is legit. This is legit stuff. Yeah, ingredients: sugar, huckleberries, and pectin. That's all. Nice. And let's just go. No, I'm not gonna do that. So I'm gonna pour like little cap shot of this stuff. Oh yeah, that is good stuff. It's like blueberry topping, but stronger, which makes sense because these are a little bit like blueberries, but they have more flavor. Huckleberries definitely do lend themselves really well to making stuff out of. So I think that's about it. Thank you once again to Wanderlust Nursery for sending me some huckleberries, which I've never had this kind of huckleberry, and some huckleberry products, which are really cool to try. If anyone watching is interested in growing huckleberries, check out this website right here and in the description below. And I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye. I would like to give a big shout out to Smarter Every Day, AltPod, and the Harbor Leaf Tea Company. They are mega patrons over on patreon.com. I'm sure you've heard about patreon.com, but basically it is how I can afford to go on all the trips that I go on and how I get all the fruit that I review. That is all from funding from viewers like you. So if you enjoy what you're seeing here and you want to help me out, please check out the link in the description below, and there you can find out more. Thanks so much, guys. Bye-bye.